guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daphne and today I'm going to be showing you the process of my first painting in almost 4 years. This is actually commissioned, so I haven't had any practice paintings, and so I was quite nervous to start, but anyways, I'll talk more about that real soon, right now actually.
So since I haven't painted in a long time, I had to research everything I was going to be needing for it. So I got gesso for priming the canvas, transfer paper for the outline, a canvas and brushes obviously, good quality acrylics, and Galleria satin varnish. But one thing I forgot to get was a paint palette for the paints to go on, so I had to wait a little longer to start painting. So while I was waiting, I made an outline for Sophie. The outline was quite easy and fast compared to my other drawings. Also, in future recordings, if you notice that the tone in my voice is different, it's because I recorded them in a different day. I don't feel like redoing them, so hopefully it's not too big of a deal. Once I was finished, I started to transfer Sophie onto the canvas and completely forgot that I had to paint the background first. That was a close one, but I'm glad I stopped because when I was, trying to get that on there, I actually wasn't doing anything the whole time. And it made these little splotchy marks from I don't know what. My voice was quite scratchy there for some reason. I don't know why. I wasn't sick or anything, but who cares? Back on track. Anyways, I ended up not buying a paint palette, and instead I used a lid that would work just as well. And then I was finally ready to start, except for the part where I forgot to put down cardboard to protect my desk. After all the setup, I started with putting on gesso. After the first coat dried, I put on the second, and then I started on the background. I was quite nervous to start because this wasn't a practice painting and I was not familiar with paints and how they worked. Something I learned from doing the background though was don't go over the same spot too many times because it pulls dry paint off and mixes it into the wet stuff and makes weird hills of paint in certain spots, which I didn't want, but it ended up being just fine because the dog made a good distraction from it and you have to look really closely to notice it.
I know, but I can now see all the spots where I didn't get the paint down into the deep cracks in the canvas.
You can see everything I missed when I pointed up toward the light. So I started patching some spots up. I don't know how much of a difference it made, but I think it helped. Now I was ready to put on the outline for Sophie. I was a little nervous that the splotchy marks would appear on the background when I was done like the last time I did it, but thankfully it didn't and it turned out well. I went over it with my pencil to make the lines easier to see. Now it was all ready to start painting her. I mixed different shades so that I wouldn't have to make them while I was painting, because I did that when I did the background and it would dry while I was making them. So here I knew to make them all first so that I wouldn't have to feel rushed to make the next color before my paint on the canvas dried. Now it was really time to start painting Sophie, and I was actually nervous to start. I watched lots of videos, but I hadn't painted for about 4 years, and I didn't know what I was doing, but as I started to paint more, it became easier and more relaxing. I started adding more layers, and what I learned from watching paint videos helped me with figuring out what to do next. I even had a pause time-lapse paint video that I had on my computer as a reminder of what it should look like at the stage I was on. So you might be wondering by the title of this video what got me back into painting. So recently my grandma's friend asked me to do a painting of her dog who passed away. And I actually met this dog, her name is Sophie, when I was around 4 years old. And I thought she was really cool because I also didn't have a dog at the time and I really wanted one. And so I didn't have any of the paint supplies to do any paintings, but I thought it would be fun to try it again since it had been a really long time since I've painted. So I just decided to go right into it. So that's why I was kind of nervous to start. Here is me scraping all the dry paint off of my lid that I'm using as a paint palette. I'm making some colors for the brown on Sophie's face. For some reason, the brown on her eyebrows are a lot redder than the brown on her cheek. We're getting real close here to adding some more details. And sorry about the hair, I'm never able to tell if it's a good angle for the camera until the video's over, so. And here's where I really add highlights to the hair.
Now I'm doing the eye and it took a long time to get it just right. It had colors like brown, pink, and blue in it, so it was a challenge to not get it blended together too much and also get it to not look bumpy. It was really satisfying to add the highlights. I have to say one of the most rewarding parts about this painting was getting the eye done. The ear was also pretty high on the list, but between the two of them, that's what satisfied me the most. Now I'm working on the other ear, and the other ear was a lot easier than the first one because it's a lot smaller and there's not so much light shining on it. A quick fresh look at the canvas, and we're back to the time lapse. So coming up here in the middle of my painting, I actually got a new lamp. I didn't know I needed a new lamp until I started this, and I was like, you know, maybe Grandpa was right, maybe I do need a bigger one. So I got it, and I really like how it is. It's so much better, and it covers a lot of space that I wasn't able to get before. And here the nose is partially done because I forgot to start recording. So this painting actually went better than I expected it to when I first started, and I really enjoyed it, and I didn't know that I would like painting this much. So I'm gonna be doing some more. I'm gonna be doing more paintings, and that should be coming up on my YouTube videos in the future. And so I thank you guys so much for watching. I think we're getting close to the end of this video, so I hope you guys are able to watch my future videos, and hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video.